Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her, and I do love my cup mug too. Yeah. And you can get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. And if you look to the right of the screen, you'll see that QR code. If you scan it, it'll take you right to where you can get your cup mug or any of our other cup merch. And yes, we're so excited to be back talking all things Traitors Canada. Yeah, I'm so excited. Um, it was a wild one. I will say it was wild. I didn't think it was going to be that wild, but it was a wild one. And we're gonna jump right in and talk all about it. But before I do, I need you to do me a quick favor. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Welcome to the Cup TV. We here are talking all things competitive reality television. So if that is the thing that you enjoy, if you're a fan of Traitors Canada and you're enjoying this season like I am, and you want to keep hearing all the different recaps and things of what happened on the episode, please hit subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel and all of our channels. All the links will be in the description below in our link tree. If you're a fan of drag or drag race, we have a channel for you at the Cup Pod. If you are a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, we also have a channel for you at the Cup ESC. And all the channels are about to be as popping. It's either popping off right now or it's about to start because I know for Eurovision Juniors it's about to start, so they're about to start giving lots and lots of content over there. And we are constantly between us here and the drag channel, we constantly give out constant, constantly not constantly give out constant. Oh my god, bro, I cannot talk today. But we constantly give out content a lot every day. Is content coming your way all the time. So if you are a fan of any of those, please subscribe to this channel and all of our other channels. Also subscribe to our um audio podcast links. That link is in the description below as well. So if you can take us everywhere you are because we want to be everywhere you are. So check out our content over there as well. And join our Patreon. We got a lot of fun things going on in our Patreon. A lot of fun new stuff is happening. Patreon exclusive as well as early access. And so if you want to see some things earlier than it will come out on the channel, you can do that if you join our Patreon. Or you got some things that will never come out on the channel, but our Patreon exclusives, fun things if you're a fan of, especially if you're a reality TV fan of shows that might have gone too soon. Maybe some shows that, you were like, dang, they only did one season of that. And I really like that show. We're talking about those shows. So join our Patreon and see what we got going on in there. Follow us on all of our socials at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow me if you'd like. It's fine if you do. If you don't, that's cool too. And yeah, do all the things to say you support us because we truly appreciate all of the support. And yeah, that's this episode. Let's get back into this episode. Let's get right into this episode because a lot, a lot happened. And we're gonna talk all about it. But yeah, let's jump into it because honestly, I'm gonna bring up the people because like I don't like being by myself. I am here by myself, unfortunately, because Anissa had things to do today, so they'll be back next week, I hope. But the show must go on, right? So after um the banishment of Asphere, um, like I said, this show, I've been saying it since it started. The show moves so fast. It's like they are not playing games with none of us. They don't have time to sit here and have all like show us all the discussions and all the conversations that are happening. They're like, look, chop chop, let's go. Phew. Because after we see Asterisk gone, we do have some conversations. Some people are not, they're like still mulling over that they haven't caught a traitor. They really want to catch a traitor. People are still on their revenge tour. Kevin, it's like I know I who I want, and I'm going to, try to make that happen. Which is he's trying to go after Coco. Um, he wants to pull off the whole, if I catch a traitor, I am the ultimate faithful because I'm traitor, I'm traitor hunting, which sure makes sense if that's what you want to do. Um, but yeah, he's on his grind on making sure that Coco is his target because he never forgave her for getting rid of Ty that first night. And so he had been planting seeds with certain people, and certain people have noticed, and they were like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, we see, we see them, do, and I know who they are, but I'm gonna keep them around because I think they're protecting me." And that's for it's like, okay, cool, 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 cool. Um, but we go to breakfast the next day, and they are talking. People are coming into the room. The first group comes in with Coco and some others, and they come in and they're Natalie was in that group, and they want to get their first seat. Natalie's more interested in the bacon, and I'm like, thanks. Like in that moment, I was like, I see you, girl. Absolutely. Like, me too. This trader's game is nice. This is cool and everything, but where is the bacon? I get first dibs on the bacon. I give me a couple of eggs up in here. I'm here, I'm here. Yes, 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 ma'am. And you know what? I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at that at all. I see you, Natalie. Get the first dibs. Like for me, I'm like, give me some bacon, some croissants, some eggs. If there's some sausage over there, I take that too. And pour me my juice. I'm here for breakfast. I'm not here to, we can speculate and everything after I get my food. But next groups are coming in and we're seeing more and more people. The final three people to walk into this room was Venus, Cara, and Kitten was the last three people who they were waiting to see who would come in. So first, uh oh no, Shaughnessy, not Cara. Shaughnessy was another one, was one of the three, the last three. So it's Venus. Well, Venus was okay. They were the last four to come in. Venus, Shaughnessy, Venus, Cara, Shaughnessy, and Kitten. So they were the last four to come into the room. We see Venus come in, and she's just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here. Oh my gosh, oh this is great." And she's just like playing it up, and people are clocking it. People are clocking it. Um, we see before Venus comes in, we see Lisette, who is just a chatty Cathy this morning. She's just like, oh my gosh, I don't agree with the whole Asphere vote because that doesn't make any sense. Why would he be, we base that on the fact that he didn't get a statistic right from a different season of Traders after he said he watched all the seasons and that's it. Like there was no facts behind the Astro vote, and she's very like I don't think it was. Well, we know it wasn't Asphere, and he was a faithful, and that vote didn't make any sense. It was stupid. Um, she was still like, I still don't understand why you, Chala, is, thinking me. And Chala's like, we could talk about it after breakfast. We can, have our own one-on-one conversation because I don't want to bring, she's not Chala's like, I don't want my name thrown around in this group setting where other people could take it and run with it. I'd rather us have a conversation, squash it, dead it, be done. And you know, it's that's on that. Um, but so they agree to have a conversation. But like I said, Venus comes in acting all wild, and everybody's like, not wild, but acting like her acting. It's not that great. And some people caught on it. They were like, "Mm, Venus is doing some weird things. I don't know. It just seems off." Kara comes in. Shaughnessy comes in, and she's like, "Oh my God, am I the last person or one of the last people?" Once again, it was. Rhea is also close to the end, I think. No, 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 she comes in with a group. But unfortunately, the person who got banished was Kitten. And I was like, why? Why Kitten? I mean, Kitten didn't do nothing to nobody. I know that's why they probably did it, because they're like, I mean, nobody's going to banish Kitten because she don't do nothing to nobody. Why would she be the one that people go after because she don't do nothing to nobody. I was like, yeah, I guess. I guess I forgot to make the banner for Kitten, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm saying it. Y'all see it on the screen. Kitten is the one who is banished. Um, I don't like the pattern of the drag race girlies always going out early on Traitors. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of frustrating. Um, but I don't know. I also don't think Kitten would have been my absolute first choice to cast because it's like, honestly, Kitten gave us nothing. She gave us nothing. She came in drag one. I mean, she didn't even give us look. Like she came in and gave us drag one day, and then we have not seen her in drag anymore. I know, like that's a lot to do, but like I would be like, at least for round tables, I'm coming in like fire. I don't know. I know it's a lot, and I probably shouldn't. I don't. No, I know it's a lot because I know how long it takes people. Me. Look, it takes me and my minimalist self to put on makeup, full makeup, and everything. It's a lot, and I know she probably like, I don't want to do this whole time, but uh, so long, kitten. It was fun while it lasted, but you honestly gave us nothing in this season. So, my personal opinion. Um, but after Kitten is gone, everybody's shocked. But they're doing that for the confusion, which is what the traders said that they were doing. They picked Kitten because people are gonna be like, "What Kitten?" They were like, "If we pick Shaughnessy to go," people are like, "Oh, okay, Shaughnessy's gone." Shocked. I thought she was a traitor, but whatever. But with Kitten, everybody be like, "Oh my gosh!" And it kind of did. It didn't really happen that way. They were like, "Oh, Kitten, why?" But okay, sure. The traders are just trying to, do random things to confuse us. And it was funny because Venus was like, "Don't give them that much credit. Don't be gassing them up that way. Like don't gas them up and make them think they're doing a good job or whatever." And people were like, "No, let them think they're doing so good that they make mistakes." And she's like, "Oh well, yeah, okay, yeah, we can do that then. Fine, fine, fine." And I was like, "Okay, okay, Venus, it's okay. You don't have to like, you don't have to do all that, but what else? What else?" Um, so I think it was Sarah Nicole. I want to say it was Sarah Nicole who had told Thompson to look at the walls, look at the pictures on the walls out in the hallway, because the pictures are giving you hints to the games that are coming up. And she was like, because we had the fight, the bridge, we had the boats, we had the ladders and the holes, and so he was like, okay, and she was like, I want to keep Thompson around for lots of reasons, for She said, but he's really good at these games, and and his brain is he's so smart that I want to keep him around, even if he's a faithful or a traitor, but because he can help, put money in the pot. And he kind of mentioned that, like, I hope you want to keep me around because you like me, or you think I'm a faithful, not because you think, I'm just good at the challenges, which is fine. If, you think I'm good at the challenges, that's cool too. But I want you to keep me around because you think I'm unfaithful. But he did go figure out that the next game probably was chess because the next two, like the pictures had chess pieces on it and like a whole thing. So he was like, it probably had something to do with chess, which he was right. The game did have something to do with chess. The traders split the teams up into a white team and a black team. The white team was who they thought was the most faithful, and the black team was who they thought was the most traitor or could possibly be traitors. And so um, I did not remember everybody on each team. Um, but Shaughnessy was left out because they didn't have a place for her. And it was just like, and the traders was like, people already have suspicions on her. It's really like if we keep her in this like this ambiguous place, people will continue to see her as ambiguous. Like they could go for her or not. Either way, like we don't know. She's a wild card. So I'm trying to think. I know Hollywood, Natalie, Coco, Jericho, uh, Cara, I want to say. Uh, okay, so Hollywood, Coco, Cara, Thompson was over there. Thompson, Jericho, Chala, Natalie, and Lisette. Yeah, Lisette. They were all on. So I think it was six or five. I think it was five or six. Trying to think of a chessboard. Five, maybe it was five. So somebody, look, like I said, I don't remember everybody who was on the team, but I do know on the trader side, Omar, Kevin, Dom was definitely there. Um, oh wait, no, it was more because Jamal was on the more faithful side too. So okay, so Omar, Kevin, Dom was definitely there with Sarah Nicole. Uh, Meredith, Venus, yeah, I think that's it. So, 4, 5, 6. So 6 and 6. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was right the first time. Okay, cool. I remembered. Sometimes I just have to talk it out, y'all. I just have to, my brain, I have to talk it out. But those people were on the black team who were people thought they were more traders. And then so what you had to do was you go head to head to pick someone, they will read a prompt or something on a piece of parchment that may or may not be true about them. And then the person who they picked or the other person will have to guess if it's true or false. If they guess correctly, they'll burn the flag of one of the other players and get a point. If they choose incorrectly, their flag will get burned and it'll be, you know, wraps for them, eliminated from the game and a point to the other team. And whoever is left after one team is totally decimated, whoever is left will get shields, and every person that they eliminate, they will add $1,000 to the pot. And so at first, it was like the white team was looking real bad. They were going out left and right, like boom, 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 back to back going out. Um, guessing the wrong thing. Now, I am not going to remember everything that they asked because no. But I'll do the ones that I do remember that stood out. Venus is apparently a skydiving expert. Uh, Sarah Nicole has been on 6 magazine covers, but she told everybody, and she talks a lot, and she uses very open book, so everybody knew the answers to that, so she was easily removed. Um, who else do we see? Uh, Coco loves to read exotic romance novels. Me too, girl. Me too, girl. I love it. It's fun. But everybody knew that because she told everybody that. So yeah. Um, I forgot what it was, what Meredith was. It was something. Can't remember what it was. Anyway, Omar couldn't tie his shoes until he was 18 years old, apparently. Who would have thunk it? Who knew? Who knew? Not me. I mean, it didn't take me 18 years to learn how to tie my shoes, but whatever. But those are the ones I remember. But the black team eventually wins. They win $11,000 in the pot. And Kevin, Omar, Meredith, uh, Venus, I think those were the only ones who, yeah, they got shields. Yeah, they got shields for being the ones left. Oh, Jericho had to sit it out because he was feeling sick, so Shaughnessy ended up taking his place, but it didn't matter because she didn't win either. So I won't forget that. But after the game, this is where craziness happened because Kevin goes a little nuts in his conversations. Like he's talking to Jericho and Hollywood, and he's talking about how possibly he has a name and he's going to put it out there and he want people to just dance with me, to like just dance with me. And he mentions, because Jericho mentions Coco because of the seeds that Kevin had already planted with Jericho, and Jericho mentions Coco, and Kevin of course jumps on it, and Hollywood is like, interesting, didn't even think about that, but yeah, 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 interesting point. But then Kevin goes and he's like, it's just, oh, okay, yeah, I gotta go talk to some people. I gotta go talk to some people. But please don't let anybody know I was in this conversation. Like, because he's like, if we're going to go for Coco, we need to go now. Like, strike while the iron is hot, and we need to go now. But don't tell nobody I was in this conversation. And Hollywood was like, what? That's weird. That's suspicious. Why would you not want us to tell people that you were in that conversation? Like, that's That's weird. That's weirdo behavior for you to not want us to tell people that. But oh, okay. Um, sure. We won't say anything. We won't tell anybody. Um, but then Kevin goes on and he's pulling people left and right. Like, this is what we need to do. We need to just dance with me. Like, just dance. Just dance with me. I'm gonna come out with a name, and I need y'all to rock with me. Like, he was gathering his troops, and some people like, okay, and some people like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you saying? Like, tell us what you mean. And then he's like, just dance with me. It was so weird. It was weird. And if I was, you know, if I was trying to debate, like figure out who this traitor was, that would be weird behavior for me. Like that would be totally weird. And I'd be like, I don't know why I don't understand. I don't understand what you're doing. That would freak me out. Um Thompson then goes to Jericho. It's like, hey, I'm looking at Rhea. I think Rhea is, you know, she might be a traitor. Which Jericho's like, absolutely not. No, because Thompson, I trust you, and Rhea, I trust her. So, like, I don't want this fighting between the people who I trust the most. So, of course, Jericho goes right and tells Rhea that Thompson is saying her name. And Rhea is like, I don't understand why he wouldn't just come to me. Like I was the one who opened up the round table for him so he could, get his, he can clear his name, and why he wouldn't come and say that to me. Which I'm like, but you didn't say that to him when you did it. You just said it at the round table. We ain't at the round table yet. Maybe he was gonna bring you up at the round table like you brought him up at the round table. But she was a little annoyed and upset that he didn't tell her. And I'm like, well, you didn't tell him either, but we move on that. um, but they do that, and they go to. She's annoyed. We also hear Venus's name being floated around by Shaughnessy. Um, the conversation with Lisette and Chala happened, but I don't think nothing got resolved from it. There's no, I think nothing got resolved. They did, understand why they didn't want to bring up each other's name in front of the groups. But Charlotte was like, I still suspect you. Like I still think she's like, and maybe this is my honesty being too real. But I do still suspect you. I'm just being honest. And Alyssa's like, okay, cool. I mean, but sure. Um, it was interesting. That was a conversation that didn't, like I said, didn't resolve anything between them. They still suspected each other. They just didn't want to bring up their names in front of a group of people, which sure. Um, then we had the roundtable just happened because, like I said, they keeping this moving. They got a lot to do. Um, Corinne, I was giving you a props earlier in the season. The first episode, I was like, she's eating at these looks. She's eating. Then every week after that, I've been like, "Oh, no, not. What was this? What was that feather on your head?" What I was like, "What is that? What is that?" Like poofy? I didn't like it. I didn't like the dress. I didn't like the hair. I didn't like the big ball poof. Didn't like it. Not this week. Not this week, my girl. But I'm waiting for you to just slay it once again. But this week, it wasn't it. It wasn't it. But she comes in with her coins, her gold, $10,000 worth of gold, and it's like, "Is this the night? I wanted to show you tangible evidence of why you need to catch a traitor tonight because we have $10,000 I want to give you and put in the pot, but you have to catch the traitor." And I was like, "Oh, this is interesting that we bring this out this episode, but okay, cool." Um, but she's like, I want something different. I want to see the fight. I want to see what you all can do. So I want to show you what you're fighting for. And now the floor is open. And so Shaughnessy is like, okay, can I start? And Kevin says, no, no, you can't because, and I'm sorry, but I have to start off because I have something I need to say. And I want to start off by apologizing to a couple of people because my behavior today was a little wild and, chaotic a little bit. So he apologized to like Meredith and uh, Jericho and Hollywood, and it was probably some other people, Omar, I think. And he was like, because I know I came a little hot and a little, chaotic, but I just really had a feeling today. That's just my personality. And I just had a feeling I just had that I just had to do it, and I wouldn't say didn't want you to talk because I'm suspecting you too, but I don't think you're my main. She's like, I suspect you as a traitor, but I don't want you to go right now. I'd rather vote for you tomorrow, but I want to vote for your girl tonight because I think Coco is who you are protecting. And so everybody's like, "Whoa, oh, whoa," except the people who he'd been telling Coco about, and so they knew what was coming. But then some people didn't know it was going to come like this. Like Venus, he told Venus at the last minute that they were going to try to flip it on Coco, and she didn't even get a chance to respond. But she didn't want to do that because Coco, her whole mind is like Kevin was her number one priority because of the whole Ty thing, and she knew how much he wanted Ty there. So she considered Kevin her number one priority, while Kevin considered her his enemy, and he who needed to go. Like it was interesting to see that dynamic play out because Coco was completely blindsided by Kevin coming for her, and she was like, "Whoa, I didn't, like, what are you trying to say?" Like, he started laying out all these facts, which, again, is very dangerous for traders to be so, like, this is what happened. This is the facts, 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 facts. Because it's like, well, how do you know this? Like, but he did a really good job of making it only about things in the game, like Coco being sacrificing herself on the first mission to get off the boat, giving Asphere the shield in the second mission because you know who sacrifice themselves that many times if unless they know they are safe. And so he was laying out all of these facts. And honestly, I believe he could have more people would have listened to him if he wasn't so chaotic, with his trying to get rally the troops. And people were listening, like Meredith was like, okay. But then Hollywood was like, okay, I was listening to you, Kevin. I really was. I really wanted to, hear you out. He said, but something you did, like he said, I was all in until you did this thing, and made me very suspicious, which was how you first left the conversation that we were having, like, okay, I gotta go and I gotta go talk to people. I gotta go talk to people. Oh my god, and then to say, I don't want, please don't tell people I was part of this conversation, which is like, what are you trying to hide? Why would you say that? It seems suspicious. And a lot of people were like, yeah, because you did mention that, and we didn't know what you were talking about and why all of a sudden you were coming this way, and it was just a lot of suspicions on you in that moment. um then the conversation shifted from Kevin to Shaughnessy because Kevin did say Shaughnessy was also probably, the, you know Shaughnessy was probably um a traitor as well, but he felt like Coco was the most dangerous one between the two of them. And Shaughnessy got the suspicion thrown on her, and then was like, well, I was, I do, I she was trying to put this shift because Venus, of course, heard that she was saying her name. And so Shaughnessy tried to explain why she said Venus. And she was like, I mean, Venus, you kind of changed from when, we were in the car together coming in, and you kind of changed. She was like, girl, you changed. Venus was like, no, girl, you changed. Like, I was trying to talk to you and have conversations with you, but you were giving me nothing. It was like talking to a brick wall. You wouldn't say anything. We wouldn't even have game talk. And a few other people piped in about why they were suspicious of Shaughnessy. And so they asked who had game conversations with Shaughnessy. And like one or two people raised their hand. And then they said, who had game conversations with Venus? And like five or six people raised their hand. So he was like, they were like, I'm just going by numbers, like who who is talking and who's not. And Shaughnessy was like, I know I probably should have talked more. That's on me, but I am not a traitor. You will be wasting your vote. You will lose $10,000 if you pick me because I am not a traitor. point blank in the period, like, you will be wasting your time if you pick me and you still wouldn't get no money. And so Venus was like, yeah, but even if you're, she's like, if you're a traitor or not a traitor, if you're faithful, you're not a really good faithful either because you're giving nothing. Like, you're not giving anything. You're not helping. So either you're a really good traitor or a really bad faithful. And I was like, ooh, well, Julie, well, um, then Thompson and Rhea have their conversation. He brings her up and gives her a chance to. He's like, I just want to give you the same opportunity to explain, why you are not a traitor, blah, blah, blah. And so she goes on and gives her spiel about how they were concerned about her acting abilities. And she was like, I was in Legally Blonde and I was like, so my acting was bad. Like, it was I got a bad review. So my acting must not be that great. She's like, I can't cry on demand. So anybody saying my tears are fake is not true because I can't do it. Um, so a lot of she was like, she made light about it, which I thought was a really good thing. I thought that was the best way to get out of it because honestly, when it was um when the votes came in, I think that helped her because she was like, my acting skills are not as great as everybody is trying to make it out to be. Um, and so you can take that for how you want it, and it was what it was. But we did go to the vote, and this vote was all over. It was a lot of names thrown out. We had the usual suspects, I want to say. Lisette voted for Chala, which I was like, she's gonna always vote for Chala. Who then Chala voted for Lisette because of course she did. Uh, of course she did. Um, we had some votes for a vote for Omar. We had a Thompson vote for Rhea. Rhea vote for Thompson. Um, then we had a few votes for Coco. I'm trying to think, was that the random name? Was it a random name? Omar was the random name that was out there. But 3 votes for Coco. Well, some votes for Coco. It was some votes for um was it a vote for Chala? No, Shaughnessy. It was at one point it was like 3 votes for Shaughnessy, 3 votes for Coco. And Kevin also had 3 votes at the time. So it was 3 votes Kevin, 3 votes Shaughnessy, 3 votes Coco. And then the rest of the votes literally just went for Kevin. And Kevin was banished from the Traitors Castle or the Traitors House version. Um, Kevin being banished, I was like, okay, sure, absolutely. I would have did that for night one because just me. But Kevin also being banished and like um decided he's not just gonna go out like quietly because now all of a sudden he can't move. He can't move his legs. His legs are locked up. The adrenaline has settled down into his legs, and he cannot move. And he has to get help from Dom and people to take him up to the circle of truth. And he's like, I really can't feel my legs. Oh, it hurts. But some of y'all were onto something because I am a traitor, of course. Yeah. And everybody's like, yes, we got a traitor. Oh my God, we did it. Yay. So they get $10,000 added to their pot. And everybody's excited because we caught our first traitor. Yay. Even though I'm like, that's the most obvious one. Yay. Um, Corinne comes in and she's like, oh, congratulations on catching the traitor. And now the traitors that remain have the option to either murder tonight or recruits. And so they're like, but and usually we'll do this in silent, but I want to try something different. Something is going to happen tonight where the traitor is going to recruit or murder, and it's going to be a different way of doing it. So everybody's nervous about that, but still excited to catch a traitor. Um, People were talking about the round table and how wild it was, how explosive it was. Rhea and Thompson have a conversation, and they're talking like, yes, we both voted for each other, realizing that, hey, maybe they have more in common than they do. That is something that will divide them. Um, Maybe they can work this out and make it to the end together because they both believe that each other are faithful. So they're going to be an alliance together, it sounded like. Um, Still, people are talking about how Kevin was going after Coco, what that meant. Omar was talking to Coco and was like, "Yeah, Kevin was saying you, but I don't know." And even though he fully feels that Coco is a traitor, but he also is nervous because he feels like Kevin was his traitor angel, and now that traitor Kevin is gone, he doesn't have a traitor angel. So he's trying to figure out what to do next. What's his next move? Um, so then we have all of a sudden the lights start to flicker on and off. And everybody's like, oh shoot. So like we need to get in the same room together. Nobody wants to be, out. Let's just get together. And so they're all trying to gather around as the lights are going off and on and then off completely. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And then the gold mask people come into the building. And they started grabbing everybody and putting blindfolds on them and leading them out. So it's a lot of gold people with everybody who's left in the house, and they're leading them out, of course, to the graveyard where everything seems to take place on this show. Um, they go and they're all blindfolded. Lisette is just trembling. She's like, I know this isn't real, but my body won't believe it. It's not real. And I believe I'm about to die. And so now I'm shaking. I can't, she's trembling. Um, so Corinne lets them know that the traitors are going to recruit or murder someone right now. If you take off your blindfold, you are automatically murdered. So do not take off your blindfold. Um, so they then let Coco and Venus, oh my God, Venus take off their blindfold because of course they're the traitors, and so they put the cloaks on them. They take off the things and they um, put them to the front. They can't talk out loud because they don't want to be heard, but they have to make a decision on who they are going to, send away. Like, no, they're not murdered or recruited. So they started pointing and sending people away until they came down to the person that they wanted to either recruit or murder, and they landed on Thompson. Now, me personally, I think they're going to recruit Thompson because murdering Thompson would make no sense. And they need someone to catch, be the fall guy for them at some point. And so they pick Thompson, and everybody else is sent back to the quarters, and Thompson is given a moment to plead why he should not be murdered if they are going to murder him, and why would he make a good traitor And so he gives his plea. He's like, just use me. I'm here. Um, I will be, loyal to what's happening with right now. I'm a good player, smart player. You can use that. You can use me. Blah blah blah. And then they leave us on that cliffhanger. So we don't know if he's going to be recruited or murdered. I personally think he's going to be recruited because murdering him would make no sense right now. So I think he's going to be recruited, but we will find out next week for sure which what's going to happen. But we're going to be back next week to talk about it too. Hopefully, I'll have someone here to talk with me. But if not, I'll still go on. The show will still go on, baby. Okay, we will still talk about it. And let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're loving this season so far, if you agree with what I have to say, if I missed something that you want to talk about, let me know in the comments. Be like, girl, you missed this. This is important to talk about, and I will course correct myself for the next week. I promise. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to all of our channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, all of our socials at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow me if you'd like on those same platforms as well. You can also get your cut mug at LanaGCreations.etsy.com, or you can scan the QR code which is on the right of the screen. It's been there this whole time, so you can continue to scan it, and it'll take you right to where you need to go. And on that note, I'm going to get out of here because I got more content to make for you guys. But you can just watch our next video. Click down in that playlist below, or go follow us and click on all our other videos that it's interesting to you. And on that note, I'm gonna get out of here. So I'll see y'all next week. Cheers. Bye.